it's a very, very special event.
It is a
But
special
we will
event.
make it.
We
Yes.
will, yeah. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Well, over to you, Gabriella.
Okay, thank you very much, Cliff, for this very clear introduction and for having me on this project. I'm very pleased and honored to be able to speak about Pauline's work to so many people all over. So I would like to start by introducing myself. Oh, Cliff, you have the first problem.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't.
If you click click into the slide area. Click into the slide area.
Yes.
Yeah, click
Yes.
into it. That's it, and then press the down button.
Yes.
Yes, there we are. Yeah, that's
If
it.
you were not there, Cliff, I would be lost. So this is me.
That's a lovely picture.
So Gabriella, yes, it's a recent one.
Yeah.
So my name is Gabriella Poli, and I'm a Shiatsu teacher and a Shiatsu practitioner since a long, long time. And I was a co-founder of the European Shiatsu Institute in 1989. And I would also love to introduce Nicola, who unfortunately could not be with us tonight, but who is part of this e-course. And she's too a Shiatsu practitioner and a teacher since a long, long time, and one of the founding teachers of the Shiatsu College. And we both studied very intensively with Pauline Sasaki in the last phase of Pauline's high-level energy work. And before going on, I would like to ask Cliff to launch the polls. So after introducing ourselves, it would be nice to know a little bit more about you, who you are, where you are, and so on.
Okay, so which poll would you like first, Gabriella?
Who are you?
Okay, finding out about you. Let's see who you are. Okay, finding out about you. This will ask you whether you're a Shiatsu student, practitioner, teacher, and other therapist, or other. Let's see.
Other.
Yeah. Everyone's very quick to vote. Everyone's obviously, right on the button this evening. Anyone else like to vote? We're up to 86% voted. If anyone else wants to contribute. Okay, well, we've got a few more people coming in. Let's just give them a few more moments. We're nearly up to 90% voted. It's looking very interesting. We've got no other therapists. They're all either Shiatsu students, practitioners, or teachers so far. Okay, I'm going to close the poll. Anyone else like to vote? Oh, we're up to 90%. Anyone else would like to vote? No? Okay, right, here we go. I'm going to just close the poll and share the results. And here we are. We've got 21% Shiatsu students, 70% Shiatsu practitioners, and 9% Shiatsu teachers. So that's the participants of the group, Gabriella. So
okay, could we also know where they are?
Let's have a look. I can do that. Yes, let's find out where you are. This is always an interesting one. We're going to ask you what region of the world you're from, just to see where you are. Okay, we've got, and I'll read it out to you. Are you from Europe and Scandinavia, from the whole of North or South America, Australasia or the Pacific Islands, the whole of Asia, or Africa and the Middle East? Just tell us where you're from. We've got quite a strong European following for this particular webinar. Anyone else like to vote? Nearly up to 90%. Okay, here we are. I just hope I haven't. We every now and then we always get messages in saying, "Oh, you forgot. I live in the such and such islands in the middle of the Atlantic, and it wasn't on the thing." Oh, I'm really sorry. I've only got 5.
To place themselves somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah. I've only got 5 options, and I've got to cover the whole world. It's quite difficult actually to do.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to close the poll and share the results with you. Look, we've got 94%
Yes.
from Europe and Scandinavia. We've got some from North and South America. So welcome to you from America. And the people from Australia or New Zealand, I think, made it as well. So that's really great. And they're, like I said, it's very early morning for them.
Yes, they need the coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very good.
So,
is there anything else you'd like to ask now, or would you like to ask later?
Now I think that's enough to have an idea what the audience is. Oops. And then Pauline was the one who introduced me and trained me in her advanced quantum shiatsu and encouraged and supported me in working with the light body. And most of what you will read and hear in this introduction webinar comes from her. And I'm very grateful to her for her teaching. And I think many people miss her very, very much. And at this point, I would like to know who has worked with Pauline, who knows about her work.
Right,
who's
okay.
had the chance and the privilege of studying with her.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's see, what is your experience of the work of Pauline Sasaki? Shall we ask that poll? Okay, yes. Yep, okay, here we go. And the 3 options are that you actually studied with her myself when she was alive, or through training with other teachers who know her work, or if you've not had any direct experience of being taught or indirect experience. That's the 3 options there. So a few people have said they've not seen the polls. I'm sorry about that. Sometimes it doesn't always work.
I haven't seen it either.
You haven't seen the polls? No, but the panelists don't see the polls though until they don't see them, so that's normal. But there's just a few people. There's just a few people.
I mean, the main thing, we get the results. So
yeah, exactly. Yes. Do you see the results come up, Gabriella? Do you?
No,
you don't. Okay. No, that's it. That's
you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Okay, well here we go. All right, here we are. Interesting. Okay, anyone else like to vote? I'm sorry if you can't see the poll. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to close the poll up now. We've got nearly 90% voted. And here are the results. 10% of the participants, Gabriella, have actually met Pauline and studied with her. So quite a lot of people already have studied with her. 61% of her know her work through other teachers. And 29% have not. So that's quite interesting. Nearly a third of the people joining this webinar have not had any actual experience of being taught her work. So that shows you there is a real interest out there. Yeah, that's interesting. Interesting.
Okay, thank you, Cliff. So let's talk a bit about Pauline's work. As some of you might know, and it seems quite a lot, Pauline went beyond the parameters of the traditional Shiatsu and created a new form of therapy, I may say, which aligns the physical body with spiritual vibrations. So this alignment of the physical body with spiritual vibrations, and then integrating these vibrations into the physical format. So this was the main specificity about her work. And she was maintaining that we are living in a period of rapid transition where the energy of our environment is speeding up. And I think we are all experiencing this speeding up of the energy and the environment around us. And this environment supports and encourages all the energies on this planet to transmute into the next phase of evolution. So we are really going into a next phase. And this evolution, this next phase, includes the human form. So it is important that we know that our physical body's makeup is changing. And what is really crucial is that the old paradigm of healing, which focuses on correcting what is wrong, is becoming obsolete. And it's being replaced by a new paradigm requiring the alignment of our physical energy with what is right. And that's a big shift. And this new approach to health involves the activation and the development of the light body. That's why we are here. And this is also very, very fascinating, and that when this activation happens, the expansive vibrations that define our spiritual reality can manifest in the contractive vibrations that give shape to our physical reality. So when we activate our light body, the spiritual vibrations, which means love, light, compassion, harmony, they can manifest in our physical reality. So this is really a true revolution in the field of healing, and especially in the field of evolution.
Could I ask, sorry,
Yes.
Gabriella, I just thought it might be an idea just to, you know, I thought that's a really good overview. It's a really good sort of summary of how Pauline developed the work. And I'm just trying to think back to how she came to that, you know, how she came to those conclusions and how she actually developed the work. And I can remember how it evolved from the Masnaka system. You know,
Yes.
I was just thinking back to how really it does have its roots in even the most fundamental parts of Zen Shiatsu, doesn't it? I can remember when she was working on it in the early days, and we were talking about just the whole idea of the Kyojitsu reaction being a positive movement of energy within the field, and how it's not so focused on pathologies. So that's one thing I can remember.
Yeah, go on. She was always saying that we should work with healthy energy and not with pathogenic energy, because it's healthy energy is the one that can create the most change, and it's strong.
Yes, exactly. I can remember that. And I can remember lots of discussions about the whole relationship between the Kyojitsu reaction and pathology, and how quite often if someone was seriously ill, that say they had liver cancer or something like that, then the liver would quite often not be involved in the Kyojitsu reaction, because it's almost like the body's system is trying to tap into the most positive movement of energy. And I think that was before we can really make that jump from a sort of pathological to a more sort of positive approach to working with the energy. It's kind of difficult to understand that, isn't it? Because you think, especially when you're a student, I think you always want it to be in little boxes. All right, if they've got this illness, then it must mean that they have these symptoms, and that we have to press these things to make them better, kind of thing, you know.
But it's a completely new understanding of the Kyoin-Jitsu movement, because Kyoin-Jitsu is a movement that supports life. It's not something wrong. It's just how the person uses his or her energy in order to live, to evolve, or sometimes to survive, which is always a good thing.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
This is the thing I like about Pauline's work, that you are not in the disease, but you really are in contact with the potential of the person, or anyway with the strong, part of the person, and that's where the person can be contacted and where the person can heal himself or herself.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it puts us into a position of not doing something to fix the person, but just to be with the person to support a self-healing process or the discovery of potentials or whatever is needed. And
Yes,
puts
yes,
us in a very nice position,
yes,
which I like in my work.
yes. Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, Cliff. So let's have an overview about this e-course and what we will be presenting in these 5 weeks. So the first, in these 5 weeks, we will explore the meridians, the chakras, a range of etheric bodies. And we will also get in contact with the spiritual dimension via the 9th dimension and sacred geometry. So as you see, it's a very large and range of subjects. So the first week, we will be exploring the meridian system, which is the most popular theoretical system of traditional Chinese medicine for working with human energy. And we will explore their energetic structure, find out how meridians can be seen from many different perspectives. We can see them as energetic channels, as a series of acupoints, as functions in the Masunaga system, and ultimately as a bridge from the physical body to the light body. And the second week, we will be exploring the 7 major chakras and 2 etheric chakras. A chakra is a center for receiving, processing, and transmitting cosmic energy through the human form. So the cosmic key, which is expansive energy from the universe, is reorganized in a chakra so that it can be absorbed and utilized by the human body, human material body. And another thing, we will also find out about the rights of the chakra and look at how the chakras are structured. Third week, we will be exploring the etheric bodies, and this is really the latest of Pauline's work. So we will see the material body, personal body, ether body, astral body, because our energetic body comprises of many different layers that vibrate at different speeds. So the slower and denser layer is what we call the material body. The next layer of the energetic body is what we call the personal body. And when the material body and the personal body vibrate at the same rate of expansion, they merge and operate as one unity that we call the ether body. And when we go beyond the ether body, the layers of the energetic body get predominantly more expansive, and we get in touch with the astral body. It's fascinating to work like this, I can tell you. And the fourth week, we will be exploring the amazing world of sacred geometry. Sacred geometry is said to be the blueprint of creation and the genesis of all forms. It can also be described as a belief system attributing a religious and cultural value to many of the fundamental geometric forms. And by studying the nature of these geometric forms and their relationship to each other, we can gain insight into the scientific, philosophical, psychological, aesthetic, and mystical laws of the universe. This is another huge realm to explore. And on every scale, and that's very important, every natural pattern of growth or of movement conforms inevitably to one or more geometric shapes. The ancients believed that the experience of sacred geometry was essential to the education of the soul. Fifth week, we will be exploring the realm of the 9 dimensions, their vibrational levels, and how we experience them. The 9 dimensions represent another way of understanding our spiritual knowledge and of getting in contact with our various realities. So we will be exploring the first dimension, the iron crystal in the center of the earth. The second dimension, openness and link to the elemental realm. The third dimension, the physical self. The fourth dimension, feelings. The fifth dimension, love, healing, and happiness. The sixth dimension, sacred geometry. The ninth dimension, light. The eighth dimension, power. And the ninth dimension, the return to the stellar self, to the age of light. Okay, this is what we will be exploring together in these 5 weeks. And now I would like to know if you have questions or comments.
I'd like to ask a question if I can. I mean, we've got
we go. Yes.
Yeah, we've got 2 people with their hand up. We've got Michael and Lauren too, I think it is. Lauren too. So if you've put your hand up in error, Michael, maybe you could just put it down. Otherwise, I can put you on. I can put you on audio, and you can even maybe, if you want to be put on audio, you could also type in a question as well, just to confirm that, because in the past we've had people put their hand up by accident and surprise them in their homes, wherever. Okay, yeah, I just wondered, oh, the hands have gone down. Okay, so but I would like to welcome anyone who'd like to actually ask Gabriella a question in person. If they'd like to put their hand up, I can unmute them, and then you can ask the question live. And we'd love to hear from anyone. It would be great to hear from someone. If you've got a Skype headset or a internet headset, that usually helps the sound. Yeah, I was just going to ask you, while we're waiting for other questions, I was just thinking about how all this work again evolved from the Shiatsu system. And I was just thinking about, again, going back to basics, because just in the same way that the whole what Pauline called anti-pathogenic ki, working with the positive aspects of the energy, just as that came directly from the whole Kyojitsu reaction thing from Masanaga, and all of those issues with how the diagnosis, how the Hara diagnosis relates or doesn't relate to pathology, and how it relates to the positive aspects. So there was that, and the other thing that really strikes me about the whole evolution of it, purely from a technical point of view, was the move from using the Hara as the center into using the alignment, the spinal alignment as the center. And I just wondered if you had any comments about that, how that was the sort of start, in a way, of moving expanding the system out, in terms of what you can feel.
But, well, when you center in Hara, you are basically at the physical level, or anyway, the physical vibrations are dominant. While when you align with the spine is the most dense part of our body because it's bones. But at the same time, it can expand in all directions. And also, if you think about the space and the movement that exists within the spine, so atoms move, molecules move, cells move, everything is vibrating. So if you center in this along the spine, you are at the same time anchored in the physical dimension, but at the same time you can really expand your vibrations in all directions towards heaven and earth, but also all around you. And this makes it possible. I have prepared a meditation that I will offer at the end of this webinar, where you can experience how, starting from the spine, you can really expand into your etheric bodies. And that's a very clear experience. So I think anchoring and centering the spine has opened up the possibility of accessing more faster and higher frequency vibrations, which means our emotions, mental and spiritual levels.
I was just wondering about the because I can remember distinctly the whole way that the alignment and everything. One of the things it does, of course, is it aligns our own chakras, our own energy field in a particular way. And I was just wondering whether there are techniques like that to allow you to go from the personal body, what Pauline called the personal body, the ether body, and the astral body. Whether there are specific techniques that do that. I'm just interested to
when you work on
when you're
somebody
working,
or on
yeah,
yourself?
exactly. When you're working, well, either really, when you're working on yourself or other people.
When you work, you use off body techniques,
Right.
but
Okay.
always bring the contact back into the body. So you will try through off-body techniques to activate the space around the body. And then through the deep touch, you merge low vibration with higher vibration until they become one. And when this happens, then immediately you reach another level. And then when you reach the level of the ether body, then you will start working with this space. See how it is, see how the borders are, see if there is an harmony inside, how is the texture, if there are dark spaces or denser spaces. So you can work on the ether body either directly with off-body techniques or through body techniques. And sometimes this is the most effective way, because usually the body, the physical body, reflects any disharmony, if I can say so, in the ether body. They are very much connected. So sometimes working on the physical body, you release the energy in the ether body and make its texture more harmonious, or its borders more regular in a way.
Yes.
So it's both. And on yourself, of course, you can do meditations and open to these spaces. But I think always the two, one working on you is always more effective, because there are two fields getting in touch. So you can use also your mindset, your intention, your thoughts. You can also use modeling. So of course it becomes more effective.
Yes.
And also more objective in a way.
Yes. We've got quite a few questions coming in now. We've got quite a few. We've got quite a few questions,
Wow.
Gabriella. Yeah. So shall we? How long do you need for the meditation? Do you think 10 minutes would be okay for the meditation?
Even less.
Even less. Okay.
Please,
Um,
maximum 10 minutes.
okay. Good. Well, we've got 20 minutes left, so let's see if we can get through some of these questions. Rochelle Wilson made a comment, more of a comment, really.
Yes.
Which is, this seems to have its roots in Taoism? Question mark. I don't know whether you've got any comment on that.
I didn't hear.
This seems to have its roots in Taoism. Rochelle thinks that she can spot some connections with Taoism. I suppose.
Of course,
yeah.
I would say Masunaga Shiatsu and most styles of Shiatsu have their roots in Taoism, and what I can see a connection, because the work Pauline was doing was taking the person to becoming one. So she was going beyond the duality of Kyojitsu or Yin and Yang, and she was trying to really give the clients or the receivers the experience of being one, and being able to live in the spiritual reality and in the human reality, and manifesting the spiritual reality into the human reality. So I would say this is the roots, the main concept of Taoism, the Tao that manifests into the two. But
yes.
Pauline was bringing us back into the Tao, into the one.
Yes, I think that links with another question later on, which we'll link to. I've got Alex. Alex has made a comment. This all sounds amazing, which is, thank you very much for that, Alex. And she also, he or she, I'm not sure, it also comments, was this information channeled to Pauline, or did she just gradually discover it, feel it, see it in her own work? What's your experience of that question?
I think she discovered it through her work. She had a very, very special connection with the top floor, and so she could really get intuitions and ideas. And in the last period, she was in contact with light beings, with ascended masters, but she was not really channeling. She was in a way supported, but I think she this is my personal opinion, she was already there, and she developed slowly to get to the point where she already was. I don't know if I can explain this.
I think that's probably a good description, really, from what I remember towards the end of when we worked together, which would have been in the mid 2000s, going up to 2007. Then I remember her, because obviously we talked a lot about the experiences that she was having, and they were all kind of leading her in that direction. So they came mainly out of her own practical work and her own development. But she did study other systems, didn't she, that she used as a kind of vehicle to structure her experiences. I suppose she did study other systems, and that's obviously some of the content that you'll be providing in the course will be some of the systems that she studied.
She was reading and studying and getting information from everywhere. So she really had a very wide source of information. But I think she always processed this information to adapt them to her and to her work. So it was really a lot of personal work or personal elaboration and processing of the information. And she was always she was always oriented towards positiveness, light. So she was always going towards really the one.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Okay, here's an interesting question from Leona David. She says, in practical terms, how do you actually work with the client's positive energy? And I think just to repeat what we were discussing earlier about the Kyojitsu reaction, I mean, this is rooted in the Shiatsu technique from Masanaka system, because when you work the Kyojitsu reaction, that Kyojitsu reaction is the strongest movement towards harmony within the energy field. That's what the Kyojitsu reaction tells you. So in a way, if you work with the Masanaka system, you're already working with the client's positive movement of energy. Yeah. And what Pauline basically did was just expand that out into finer vibrational bodies from her own experience. But the actual movement, that positive movement energy, is right there, rooted in the Masanaka system. So you're probably already doing it.
And I think she really developed Masunaga system without never betraying it in a way. She didn't throw anything. She just got all the Masunaga system and developed it to a higher level, what he couldn't do because he left us too early. But I think she really followed his path and his basic concepts, and then went further.
Yes, absolutely. Here's a quick question from Sue Wilson. She didn't catch the name of the 9th dimension.
You will find them as a resource in week 4. You want me to read them again? I didn't want to put. Yes.
Yeah, go on. I mean, it might be a good. We had another question about, someone said, could we have a copy of the slides? And the answer to that is yes. What we'll do is we'll put the slides up on the homepage of New Energy Work, so you can have a look through them. And also, we're recording this webinar as well, and we will load it up onto YouTube, and again we'll link it from the site, so you'll be able to revisit the whole webinar in your own time once we've finished. So if you've missed anything, don't worry, there'll be plenty of chances to catch up. Yeah.
All these things will be as resources in the various weeks. I didn't want to go into too many details in this webinar.
Sure. Yes.
You will find all the information in the resources each week.
Yes.
Each subject.
Yes. Here's an interesting one from Ian Wood. He said that he feels strongly that the glandular system are a connection between the physical and the spiritual body. And he was wondering whether we agreed with that, and can we work with that in Shiatsu? Have you got any comment about that, the endocrine system?
Oh, I have to think about. Well, chakras, each chakra is connected with a gland, so already this is a connection.
Yes. There is a strong mapping between the chakras and the endocrine system, actually, and I'm wondering whether that was an early sort of intuitive experience of that on the physical level, because that is one of the strong points about Pauline's work, isn't it? It's always rooted in the physical body, and it's a case of experiencing the physical body and integrating that with the more spiritual aspects. So
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is the only connection I can see at the moment. Cannot think of anything else, and I've never, in a way, unless when I work with chakras where all the other information is contained, I've never used the endocrine gland system directly in my work, and neither did Pauline.
No, interesting. Well, there's so many different ways to come at the same thing.
Yes, but the body's one.
Exactly.
So
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
From different perspectives, and they're all good, and they all work.
Yeah.
Provided there is a certain degree of coherence.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. A lot of it, they're just different systems to get into the same place, aren't they? And on that theme, here's a comment from Silke Brockman. She says, why choose between hara and spinal alignment? I like to stay and enjoy it with all the levels together in the same time, like to be in one ocean with different colors in one water. And of course, that's what really happens in practice, doesn't it? I mean, we can shift around, and I mean, it's the same with the hara. I mean, Masanaka's presentation of it really is that once you've mastered it, it becomes like a transcendent thing anyway. So you will get in touch with the whole field, whichever way that you choose to work. And in reality, of course, we do that. We shift from the hara into the spine. So it's not really one or the other. No.
It's mainly what you think you are doing.
Yes.
And what is the best for you also.
Yes, exactly. You need to find something that speaks to you, doesn't it? Okay.
That works for you, and that's a natural thing. Okay, any more questions?
Well, they're absolutely pouring in. I really don't think. I'm sorry if anyone's got any questions. Someone would like to get in touch with you directly, and would like your email address. We can do that later if you like. Put a contact up.
Sure.
Okay. Or actually, if you email me, it's Lee. If you email me or email us at admin@newenergywork.com, we can pass your details on. Let me just see if I can. Oh, this is an interesting comment from Amber Hale. She's saying that because the spine is so large, she was just wondering if it's possible to center from particular chakras depending on what the client needs, or try to connect them together all the way through the body. And they're definitely techniques which you can do. You can actually use different chakras to adjust the vibrational level that you're working on, and you can also combine them together.
For sure. And that's what we do in this work. In the end, you get to a one chakra system, which Pauline would say means I am.
Right. That's your total identity kind of thing, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just in case anyone else has a question about the course, Linda Gill has just said that she didn't realise that there was a course. Maybe she missed the intro. Is this available on webinar? No, the courses, we don't use webinars on the courses. The courses are asynchronous, which means you can tune in at any time. And she's also worried because she won't be available for 1 week, but you don't have to worry about that either, because you can work around it as you go along. We don't use webinars on the course. We use the webinars to kind of share the information free to anyone who's interested, but it would be too complicated to have webinars for the course, because as you can see, we've got people in Australia, people in America, and people would have to be getting up in the middle of the night to attend. Let's have a look. I just see. Oh, great. Elizabetha is saying that she's been working with the light body for 2 years, and she's thinks it's fantastic, and she's very excited about it.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. How about this one? This is Peter Sparks, who's saying, is there a potential danger releasing higher energies in a client? Because he says he knows that some yoga teachers have concerns about releasing Kundalini energy without close supervision. So what's your experience of that question?
I mean, my experience is that I've never had any trouble. And I think what makes it really safe is that you're always leaning on the physical body. Whatever you do with off-body techniques, you always bring this high frequency energy into the body. There is a very sound anchoring into the body. And as you are going with the possibilities of the receiver, you will never force any reaction. You're only, in a way, Pauline was saying, we are not therapists, but we are facilitators. So our role is really to facilitate, to be there to help the person, but we will never force. And therefore, there is really no danger. I've been doing this work now for years, and especially the latest, I mean, at least now for 2.5, 3 years, and I've never had any problem with people.
No, and I think that's
take what they can, and also if you have a little experience, you can monitor where they are. Pauline was saying you have to be on the same page, so you have really to be with them and match their vibration, and then help them to raise them, but very respectfully and without any forcing.
That's exactly my experience. I think that's the two things for me that make it, you know, very safe and very grounded, is because we always work with the physical body. That's the real contribution that Pauline made, I think, was actually transforming the quality of the physical touch so that it can access other levels, but we still have that deep physical touch there. And so that's the first thing. And the other thing is, because we're basically working with the Kyojitsu reaction and its manifestations on other levels, that reaction is actually the client's energy moving. So, like exactly as you said, Gabriella, I mean, you're basically providing the physical touch, you're giving an opportunity for the person to experience their energy moving. But because there's no because it's so well grounded, and because it's coming from the client anyway, I think that's what makes it so sort of grounded and safe, you know, to use. And that's what's always attracted me with it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
I
I
think
think
not manipulating in any way the energy of the receiver.
No, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sorry if I couldn't get through to anyone else. We've got Alison. Alison Grove works on horses, and she's fascinated by it, and she's wondering if she can integrate the material in the course to work on horses. So that's an interesting one. And
why not?
Yes, why not? And Rose Brown says, do you know when we'll be running the course again? Well, the courses, I think we only had 2 places last time I looked. If we get enough inquiries, we'll run it again. We'll probably run it again in the autumn, because we need to take the system offline over the summer, because we're having a major upgrade of all the software and the systems. So the light body course is the last one of this season. We'll be breaking for the summer, so we'll be back in the autumn. If you're registered with New Energy Work, you'll get the newsletter anyway, and we'll let you know when we schedule it again. Okay, Gabrielle, we've got 5 minutes left. Would you like to take us on the meditation before we close up? Yeah, that would be great.
Yes, I will try. Okay. So, are you all there?
They all are. We have nearly 100 people all waiting.
Okay, so just stand with your feet shoulder width apart.
Okay, I'm doing that here in orange.
Okay, close your eyes and observe your body. How do you feel it? Just compare the upper part and the lower part, the left and the right, and you may notice any differences. If there is an area that you feel more present or contracted or painful or just different, special. And then get in contact with your spine, with your central axis. You can either feel it inside your body or just have an image of it. You can feel its density, its heaviness, and at the same time contact the space within this structure and the movement that happens within it. Energy is vibrating, fluids are moving. And now imagine you are expanding your spine vertically. You can visualize the movement within this structure as a wave that goes beyond your physical body to reach down towards the center of the earth and up towards heaven. A wave going up and down. And then you can expand this structure, this movement horizontally in all directions, as if a stone had been thrown down the spine, creating circles all around it, circles that expand in all directions, larger and larger, bigger and bigger. And once you have a good feeling of your spine expanding vertically and horizontally, beyond the borders of your physical body, out in all directions. Observe this space around your body. Do you feel it as part of you? Do you feel it separate? How is it? How are its borders? How do you feel in this expanded experience of yourself? It is important that the more you expand, the more you remain in contact with your spine, anchored in your physical structure. And now expand your energy and your awareness further into a larger space. And again, observe this space. Do you feel it as a part of you? Do you feel it separate? How is it? How do you feel? Is there any information for you there? Do not lose the contact with your spine, with your central axis. And now let's expand even more, as far as we can reach, as far as you feel comfortable without losing contact with your body, with your denser structures. And again, observe how you experience this space around you. If again you feel is a part of yourself, or is it separate? And how you feel yourself being present and vibrating in all your energetic system, in all your energetic field. How do you experience yourself as being a body of light? Just enjoy this feeling. Enjoy this expanded version of yourself, where all the potentials are present, where you are one. And then, when you feel you had a good experience, slowly bring your awareness back to your physical body and observe it. Compare the feeling you have now with the feeling you had at the beginning of this experience. Do you notice any difference? Something has changed? Are the special parts or points still there? And then start moving slowly. First small movements, and then bigger and bigger. Open your eyes. Continue doing all the movements your body wants to do. Stretch, breathe. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this experience of being in contact with your etheric bodies, being at the same time present and anchored in your physical body and in contact with your spiritual vibrations.
It was a great experience. I found it a great experience, actually. I mean, it was amazing going back into the physical body again, how different it felt just through that very quick exercise of expanding out. It kind of
Yeah, I think,
reorganizes everything.
yeah, that's my experience. That when you infuse these high frequency vibrations into the physical body, um, they do wonders, really. They do marvelous things in a very, very fast time. So it's really powerful as a work. So,
Berta has sent a message saying, "My body says thank you," and I'm sure that probably everyone echoes that. Okay, great. I'd just like to. We've just gone slightly over time, but that's okay. I've got to close up the webinar now. I'd just like to thank you very much, Gabriella, for taking the time to be with us and for giving us a presentation. It's always so great to be reminded of Pauline's work, and it'll be really good fun. In fact, I think I might have to join the course myself as an assistant. I could really do with something like this over the next 5 weeks. I think you might see me there.
We would be honored.
Yes, I think I'm definitely going to hang out.
It's been a pleasure for me, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity of talking about Pauline's work. And I wish you and all the people who were with us a nice evening or a nice morning. I don't know, whatever the time is. And I really hope they will enjoy this e-course.
Yes.
They will participate in the forums and ask questions. And so I feel it's more of a sharing than of a teaching, because it's such a huge work that we can all contribute to it.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's really sharing our experience and putting our potentials together.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you very much to all of you from all over the planet for being with us. And if you are interested in enrolling on the course costs £145 for 5 weeks. It's 15 hours CPD training credits, assuming that you complete the course. If you'd like to, you can just go to newenergywork.com and have a look at the homepage, or email us at admin@newenergywork.com. And what we'll do is we'll try and get the recording of the webinar up onto YouTube as quickly as we can, and we'll let you know so that you can revisit it. And I'll put your slides up as well on the homepage as well, in case you want to download the PDF slides. Okay, I think that's covered everything.
Okay.
Good. Have a lovely evening in Rome, and I'll see you soon,
Thank
Gabriella.
You. Okay, Clive, thank you.
Okay, great. I'm just going to close up the webinar. Thank you very much again.
Thank you to you.